I think that we are at a very interesting turning point in history. There's a demographic shift which is unprecedented, and globally we are seeing that the entire world is aging. For the first time in history, we saw that in 2018 there were more people over the age of 60 than there were children under the age of 5. In 2030, based on the population that is currently existing, there are projections that indicate that there will be more people over the age of 80 than there will be children under 1. The world is aging very rapidly and across the globe. We have Europe, which is already more than 20% of its population over the age of 65. In Asia, we feel that we are a young nation, we are a young continent. But the reality is that we have pockets. We have Japan, which is among the super aged society. We have China, Singapore, Malaysia, and some of the other countries that are in that category. But for the rest of Asia, we need to be aware that the Asia-Pacific continent is the world's most rapidly aging continent. What does it mean for us? It means that we already have a scenario where 1 in 2 people in the world is ageist, and 1 in 6 people in the world who are over the age of 65 are experiencing violence, abuse, and neglect. That's a significant amount of population that is experiencing human rights violations, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. If we unpack it, we see that there are massive underreporting of cases of violations against older persons for a myriad number of reasons. So clearly this is an issue that we need to do more work on. However, part of the challenge is what I refer to as 1 in 2 people are ageist, and ageism exists, it's pervasive across the world. We also have the scenario that we as governments and people are not collecting relevant data or disaggregating it on the basis of age. So older people all over the world remain invisible in policy. It's time now to rectify it, because on one hand we can be very proud of the fact that we have developed and we have progressed both science and many other areas of our life where we have advanced to such an extent that longevity is possible. But we really have to question whether this is a lifespan full of dignity and a fulfilled life, or is it lacking something? And if what evidence is showing us is that the invisibility of older persons is clearly creating a scenario where people are living longer, but not necessarily living happier or more dignified or fulfilling lives. This is the time that we have at our disposal to prepare ourselves for the major demographic shift and make sure that we are able to ensure that no one is truly left behind anywhere in any corner of the world. The UN and the international community has been aware of this issue and has been working on it for more than 20 years. If we look at just the last 15 years, there has been the open-ended working group in New York, where member states have been deliberating on what are the gaps, challenges, and opportunities that exist around the issue of aging. Clearly, the more than 1,000 documents and legal submissions that were made to the open-ended working group clearly identified that there are major gaps in the international human rights legal framework when it comes to the issue of older persons. As a result of this, we are very much pleased, and we are very much in anticipation now of a move towards a better scenario, because in 2025 the Human Rights Council adopted the Human Rights Council Resolution 58/13, which established the Intergovernmental Working Group tasked with elaborating a new legally binding instrument. Significantly, a comprehensive legally binding instrument that would ensure the protection of the rights of older persons in a meaningful manner. This is a very, very significant development, and it brings together the entire globe and presents us with an opportunity that now is the time when we can ensure transformative action that will have a meaningful impact on a simple villager or a village woman living in a remote area in some part of the globe, just as much as it will fulfill the life of somebody living in a prosperous nation with all entitlements and privileges possible. What we need to ensure is that everybody lives a life of dignity and fulfillment, and this new legally binding instrument, which I must emphasize is a state-led process, provides us with the opportunity to take that bold and ambitious step forward in the right direction for human rights in the current situation.